Discover the power of deal analysis with myapp.property. So here we're looking at a block of flats in Turfentine. It's a mixed use, partly residential, partly retail. So at the bottom, you can see the retail sector. At the top, you can see the residential sector. Let's have a look at some of the photos. So this is on one of the main roads in Turfentine. Obviously, it comes at a bit of a risk premium. The closer you are to, the main roads, the better for demand, but there's also a high chance of delinquent behavior. I have viewed this building and I remember it being in pretty good condition. So I think these photos are pretty reflective of what the current state of the property is. And if I remember correctly, of the 12 residential units, about 3 were vacant. The rest were all fully occupied. So it looks like it's in pretty good condition. What I've got is I've got my app.property open so that I can analyze the deal, put in the numbers. So in the introduction, remember to put your URL here so that you've got easy reference for your deals when you analyze them in future. Acquisition cost, the asking price is 3.2 million. I'm going to offer 2.5. The transfer and bond costs, I went to my calculator, transfer fee calculator, and that's where I got that number from. The renovation and inspection cost, I just used 10% of the purchase price as an estimate. I'll obviously have to get my building inspector in there to give me a comprehensive quote. Next, you've got the finance costs. Because this is a commercial in nature building, i.e. it's not sectional title, I'm going to be using a DCRS loan. So I'm going to go for a 1.5 million Rand loan at 15.25 interest over 15 years. Next, we've got cash flow. The monthly revenue or rent that this property can generate. I obviously haven't done due diligence yet. So these numbers are based on what the agent has given me. Obviously, you don't want to make a decision on what the agent gives. You want to make a decision based on proofs. So I'm using 70,000 of rent at an occupancy rate of 95%. I've got my management fees, my maintenance provision, rates and taxes, insurance, water, refuge, security, and cleaning, and my finance costs. Other inputs, when you're working with the advanced calculator, you're doing 20-year projections. So you obviously have to put some escalation numbers in place. First of all, the enterprise details, I've used income tax and capital gain tax of a company structure. Escalations, I'm being conservative with a 3% capital growth rate. There's not a lot of capital growth in the low income market. Rental growth of 6.5%, cost inflation of 5%, sustainable growth rate of 5%, and discount rate of 10%. Total costs of putting this deal together will be 2.85 million. And then I've used a 10% sensitivity level on my rental growth and on my occupancy factor to see what my bull and base case and bear case would be. Go to the summary tab. First of all, we'll look at the overview. So 21% discount to asking and 28% discount to market value. Next, we've got the scenarios. So you can see the bear case, the base case, and the bull case. This is taking into account those sensitivity levels. So on a base case, the gross revenue excluding recoveries will be 800,000, giving a gross yield of almost 32%. Gross expenses, interest expense, and cash flow post-tax year one of 212 on the base case, 163 on the bear, and then 261 on the bull case. If we go to the next tab, the the returns tab, you'll see the internal rate of return of almost 30%, which is phenomenal. Net yield, so cash on cash returns day one is 7.45. The cap rate is 24%. The net present value, so the growth in your net worth of 8 million. The debt service ratio of 2.51, gross operating expense ratio, almost 20%, and it will take you 5 years to pay back your initial capital investment. Your equity to debt ratio, which is showing the growth or the value of your property in comparison to your debt. Because you're taking a 15-year loan, you'll see that after 15 years, your debt is finished and the value of the property is growing at the 3% cap rate. Operating profit, which is showing you a nice split of your income, expenses, excluding finance and tax, and your gross profit. Your net profit is taking into account finance and tax and showing you what your net profit would be year on year for 20 years. Your capex spend is showing you where most of your capital outlay is going. So obviously your deposit is the biggest portion of the pie, followed by renovation and then your transfer fees. And then the last graph is your project cash flow. So you can see here how your project will do on a cash flow basis year on year, your cumulative cash flow, and then your ROI. And the best part, with a click of a button, you can generate a proposal which you can share with private finance or institutions to raise money to finance this deal. All you do is click generate proposal and a document will be downloaded to your downloads folder. So here is the output. It'll do an executive summary. It'll show the cash flow statement, and then all those graphs that we just went through. It will display all of these. This is what you can take to a private investor or institution to raise finance for your deal. In the world of property investing, success likes speed, and being able to quickly and confidently analyze deals will give you the competitive edge. With this tool, you can analyze all types of property deals like commercial, multi-lets, and even student housing. Analyze cash flows, understand market trends, and assess risks, all with a few clicks of a button. Our tool simplifies data, making it accessible and actionable. This tool will help you save time, it'll enhance your decision making, and you can even learn the insider secrets of the cash flow market in South Africa. Some of the features include calculators, things like transfer fee, income tax, and affordability calculators. Analysis of deals, giving you the cash flow, return on investment, internal rate of return, NPV, and all the financial metrics you need to make an informed decision. And with a click of a few buttons, you can generate a professionally designed investor proposal to help you raise finance for your next deal. Take your investing to the next level. Register at myapp.property today.